is 35. So don't tell me that they are young people. They are not. They are old fogies. We are interested in young people who come out of college, who have just graduated, who want to go and work in Zimbabwe or Benin or Mongolia or whatever. And the United Nations has not even thought of this, of setting up a system for sending interns out. All interns in the UN system are unpaid, which means that they pay for themselves. If you have a person at Lehigh University who's willing to go and work in Kenya or in anywhere at his or her own expense for 3 months, 6 months, why can't we establish a Peace Corps type program in which they can go out into the field?
This is a real possibility. This is a real possibility, but I'm trying to explain you the framework which exists now for involving young people. This is a possibility that governments are applying. Even my own government was considering setting up a Peace Corps, a kind of a volunteer corps to go and help wherever there is a disaster, to go and help wherever there is a need for development or emergency assistance. So we need really to explore all possibilities. This is a possibility, and we need just to create the right framework for that. And that's why I was thinking of making the United Nations program for youth a real development program, a real, so to say, action program, a field program, to really take in charge, not as to replace the governments, but really to monitor what the governments are doing in the field of youth employment.
Okay, so yes. You have taken note.
Yes, of course, of course. This is a very important idea. It's not a new idea.
Well, let's take.
Yes, but at the level of a UN, the framework for volunteering, for involving young people, is still the UN volunteer program. Yeah. There are also many, so to say, programs such like junior professional officers. There is a program called Junior Professional Officers, which offers the possibility with the sponsorship of government for young people, young experts, young specialists to come and work in various departments of the United Nations and develop skills that are useful for the community, for the international community. And one door out of the situation of junior professional officer is to get an appointment as at P level in the United Nations. This is a path that many follow.
I think the young students in front of us are not yet at the P level. They are talking of internships and of global exchanges in which they are...
Definitely, global exchange is a very important issue. We call it mobility. Mobility which will help young people to go and study in other universities or make work experiences in other settings as their own homeland. This is something which needs to be developed, and that's why the issue of migration is a very critical issue as we address the concerns of young people. See how many young people are trying to cross the Atlantic Sea to go to Europe because they think that they will have more prospect there. And my own government has developed, taking into account the need to promote mobility, has developed a program of exchange, or even the program of employment abroad for our young people who meet the requirements necessary for that. We have a treaty, a intergovernmental treaty with France in that field, and we have other partnership, university partnership with other countries. Recently, my minister went to sign a treaty with Sherwood University in Canada.
No, but it is quite clear that the United Nations is doing nothing. These are individual countries who are having bilateral agreements, and the question was, what is the United Nations doing about global exchanges? And even joint JPOs, young professional officers, these are bilateral countries who send their people to the UN, and the UN says, fine, if you're willing to pay them, we'll give them a desk and a telephone. So I think more action is needed in both these areas.
Now, I do agree with you. I do agree with you. that we need to do more. We need to do
My
more.
understanding was that these two questions came from Lehigh University, in which case we shift now to Bronx and ask for two questions from the Bronx.
Hi, my name is Robert Jossman. I just had one quick question, and that was, having recently come back late last year from commanding the provincial reconstruction team in Afghanistan, where we were part of a military/civilian component working with the UN, we were trying to get you to use a program that you have called the UN International Baccalaureate Program, which is established over 1,700 colleges, universities worldwide, and in other countries such as in Africa or in Iraq even. You have partnered with the, for lack of a better way to put it, the coalition forces there in establishing these programs to get youth more involved in education, in skills, etc. And I was just curious as to why no one seems to be talking about that either here in today's program or in general out there when you guys look for funding from member states. I know.
Is there a second question from Bronx or just one?
Hi, we have an AB question. My name is Maxine Davila.
And my name is Dwight Peters. The question is, or A is, with the current economic crisis, an epidemic of tuition hikes have been imposed throughout the world. Students in England, France, Greece, Mexico, Puerto Rico, and throughout here in America are fighting back. This is an international student crisis where students are no longer asking for lower tuition or actually demanding free higher education. As an African American, I believe my tuition was already paid for by the blood of my slave ancestors. The students did not create this economic crisis or being left with the bill. How can students bring their concerns to the UN since this is an international crisis?
And my
Very good question.
as a student who, I'm very privileged to be an American. Absolutely, I have primary education and secondary as well, and even my college paid for through government funding. So I'm a strong advocate of awareness and education. With what he said, I think that as what you were saying earlier, I'm only getting my associate's degree this December, and 5 years ago I got full scholarships to the University of Connecticut. With that said, at 24 years old, coming back to college, I think I also had a lot of world experience, real life experience that brought me to come back to school, and I was able to get myself an internship in the UN, thankful to Ambassador Francis Lorenzo, who gave me a chance to pretty much tell him what I wanted to do and if I could find any place to help, and he found one place for me very small, and I was able to grow myself and move forward, which is why I think that we shouldn't underestimate any youth in any position about them not being qualified enough, because me working alongside experts is helping me so much in my education as well. So as an American, I can say that maybe I have more an opportunity than these people in other countries internationally. What about them?
Very good questions. Let me take or ask supplementaries from Ambassador Zinsou. The first question is about capacity building, really. Now, I know that a lot of work is being done in capacity building, particularly in Afghanistan. So an enormous amount of funding is available and capacity building is taking place. The problem is that what happens is that only countries which hit CNN get the funding for capacity building. Afghanistan is very much in the news these days, so there's enormous funding available, particularly from Japan, for capacity building schemes in Afghanistan. But other countries which are not covered by CNN, because they are not crisis countries, do not get the same type of attention. And so the question is, how can we somehow, because this is the job of the UN, not to be carried away by CNN, but to have its own analysis of all the countries that need assistance, not just the ones which are covered by CNN. The second question, of course, is on the debt of students, and that surprises me. I'm astonished that at a time of crisis, tuition fees are increasing in the United States. I just cannot understand this, that everything is going down. You can't buy, people have to tighten their belts, salaries are being frozen, and yet tuition fees